guys, here's probably the most requested watch review I've gotten in recent history. I cannot tell you how many comments I've seen listed on my videos of, what about the Black Bay 58? Literally dozens upon dozens upon dozens of you have left me comments about this watch. For those of you that are unfamiliar with it, this is a Basel 2018 release. This is the Black Bay 58. It is called the 58 because it is actually a tribute to the 1958 original Tudor Submariner, which was, I believe, reference 7924. In short, this is a downsized version of the Black Bay. This is a more palatable, I should say, 39 mil for those of you that have smaller wrist on it. And it has that nice kind of vintage look about it as all the Black Bays do. But literally, I have been overwhelmed with feedback on this watch. And thanks again to my friends at Bernard Watch, I get to show it to you. This watch is so popular that the one I'm holding here has actually already been sold right after they got it in. So if you're looking for one of these, you may want to watch their website for a while because this one's already spoken for more than likely. But anyway, this is strangely enough the first Black Bay, normal Black Bay I've had on the channel. And so I feel like this is a definitely a good one to start with. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, Tudor is the younger sister brand of Rolex. For many years, they were kind of their lesser versions of, they've always been the more affordable Rolex, although I wouldn't say these are overly affordable. But back in the day, they were basically Rolex cases with ETA or ETA movements in them. And as I've shown many of them on the channel in the last year or so, they've completely reinvented themselves. And I will say in complete honesty, as a current Tudor Submariner owner, vintage one, and owning several Rolexes, I think Tudor are better than Rolex these days in terms of the value proposition for the money. The watches they're putting out are absolutely amazing. The quality is spot on, and now they're using in-house movements, just like their bigger brother Rolex. This one is no exception. This has the new in-house Calibre Mt5 It's a different caliber because it actually had to be a little bit smaller, as this is a 39 millimeter case, so the caliber has actually been downsized. It's going to be your basic complications caliber, so you may have already noticed there is no date. It's hours, minutes, and seconds is what you have here. The smooth sweep is indicative of a 28,800 beat per hour beat rate, and believe it or not, it has a 70-hour power reserve, which is very, very respectable for a watch. So what's so special about this watch? Well, as I mentioned, it's the quality, it's the details, and the reason these are so popular right now, of course, is the size. So 39 millimeters, when you compare it to some of the other offerings, for example, say 42 millimeter Pelagos, which I'll be doing a review on shortly, you can definitely get a little bit of a size difference. So if you have a little bit of a smaller wrist, 39 millimeters is kind of where you want your watches to be. And so this gives the traditional look of a nice dive watch with all the dive watch features, but it makes it wearable for more people. I could easily see, smaller sized wrist wearers really enjoying something this size because it doesn't give up any of the aesthetic appeal of its larger Black Bay brothers, and of course the Pelagos. So basic features, it does of course feature the lovely snowflake hands, a Tudor hallmark going back many, many, many decades. I love these things. I think they're super cool, and they never definitely go out of style for me. One of the things that I think Tudor does really, really well is their bezels. I love how they have this coin edge on their bezel. It's just so nice to hold. I don't know what it is. It's just got that very nice feel about it when you play with it. You do have, of course, traditional functionality of a unidirectional diving bezel. Turns very smoothly. Apologize for the glare on the sapphire crystal here. But as I mentioned in all my dive watch videos, you can just set your red triangle with a luminous dot to the minute hand, and as the minutes elapse, you can keep track of your elapsed time. Originally this was developed, of course, for divers, and of course you could use this as a dive watch, but more than likely you can use this to time normal events like a swim meet or whatever you want to keep track of time-wise. So pretty useful function even if you're not a diver. And I don't know if you can hear this on camera. This thing sounds really good when you turn it, and it is very, very solid in the way it moves. The dial has kind of a lovely, almost kind of pinkish gilded look to it. Has a very much a vintage feel about it, which I am a massive fan of. And as we zoom in here, you can definitely get a better appreciation for it. Aesthetically, I think this watch is perfect. I don't know what it is. This to me is a definitive look of the dive watch, and it just really, really speaks to me. The crown is also beautiful with the raised logo. And what's nice about this too is, of course, the action is wonderful. So it is screw down for water tightness. This watch is good to 200 meters or 660 feet. The action is fantastic when you unwind it. Like you'd find on a similar Rolex, first position is winding. And then you pull it out, it'll hack, and you can go ahead and adjust your time. Again, sorry about the glare here. Rolex and Tudor still have not adopted the anti-reflective properties of some of their competitors, but you know, you live with it. But again, great action. The movement feels very high quality, feels very smooth. It's definitely clearly a well-assembled caliber. And it is also COSC certified, so you also, of course, are gonna have very good timekeeping within COSC specifications. The case itself keeps a very traditional Rolex style oyster case. So I know this is a love it or hate it feature of these bracelets, but they actually have these little side rivets, which I've heard a lot of people complain about. I really like them. They're very fun to run your fingers over. They have a very kind of old school, I don't know, kind of gearhead mechanical feel to them that I really, really, really enjoy. I know a lot of people don't like them. I really like them. The bracelet is, of course, solid. It has solid end links. You could easily put you know, any of your 20mm straps, which is a very common size, so you could easily customize this with a nice aftermarket strap if you wanted to. Although again, I would keep it on the bracelet. I love the bracelet. And of course you have a newer style Tudor clasp, which is Mark Tudor and is extremely well finished. And just overall, build quality is top notch. And I always make the comparison on these to older Rolexes, since I've owned a few and own several. And here's an older Rolex style clasp. And as you can see, nowhere near as nice as the modern day Tudor ones. So overall, a very, very nice piece. And again, if you're looking for, you know, the looks of a vintage aesthetic that, you know, dive watch, but at a more wearable size, from a company that really has reinvented themselves and is going strong now, is putting out a great quality product and clearly has a demand behind it. This is a fantastic piece. So I guess we'll go ahead and just wrap this up real quick with a wrist shot. And I'll put this on my just under 7-inch wrist here. And as you can see, it is a more wearable size, but it definitely doesn't look lost on my wrist. It fits it very well. And yeah, it's got that awesome look about it. So with all that said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this review. And again, thanks again to my friends at Bernard Watch for letting me borrow this piece, which is already sold. As these things are pretty hard to come by. As I mentioned, you guys have been asking for a long time. I've been looking, I've had a hard time finding one. So got lucky with this one and was able to grab it before it goes to its next owner. So with all that said, guys, let's go ahead and jump back. So there you go, guys. There's the Black Bay 58. As I said, I got literally a bazillion requests for this watch. So I really hope it lived up to your expectations. As always, it's a Tudor, and I love modern Tudors, although I'll be totally honest and say I would probably go for the standard Black Bay. 39 is a great size. I like my watches a little bit bigger. Speaking of which, of course, customary wristwatch check today. Right now I'm wearing my Breitling Navitimer, although when I shot this video, I was wearing my Explorer 2, in case you saw that in the background. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, I read as many comments as I can, and I really, really appreciate getting your perspective on things. I'm not always right, and sometimes you guys turn me on to things I wasn't even aware of. So as always, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you guys can see more of my videos as they come out. I try to do these as often as possible, usually weekly. And oh, by the way, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up as it helps others and lets me know I'm giving you guys good content. Speaking of this, holy crap. The video that I put out last week about what I wish I knew before I bought a Rolex hit 45,000 views in a week. That is stupendously high for me. That is by far and away the fastest growing video I've ever put out. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel from that video, thank you so much. That is nuts to me. I'd love to do that again, but that's crazy. So again, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are doing well. Stay tuned and I'll catch you guys real soon on the next watch review. See you soon.